So hi, Emrie. Thanks for joining me. Perhaps if we dive right in, can you tell us a little about RMB and what sets us apart?
Hello, Nigel. Always a pleasure to chat with you. So RMB is a leading African corporate and investment bank. We're part of FirstRand Limited, one of the largest financial services groups on the continent. Our footprint spans over 35 countries across the continent, including some key international markets like the UK, USA, India and China, all contributing to our Africa Corridor strategy. We pride ourselves on being completely focused on our clients, providing them with a diverse portfolio of innovative solutions, including sustainable finance and ESG advisory. For us, it's really about partnering with our clients and society to unlock growth opportunities.
So an African financial institution with a focus on sustainable finance and ESG advisory as a key part of the strategy. Can you unpack that a bit and how this contributes to our drive towards shared prosperity?
As you know, climate change is a global challenge, and Africa in particular is vulnerable. So as an African bank, we are deeply committed to play our role in partnering with our clients in a just transition. We aim to deliver quality results, which really enables us to contribute meaningfully to society and to build a future for all of our stakeholders to thrive. Aligned with this ambition, we have actually committed to facilitate 200 billion rand of sustainable and transition finance by 2026, and we've already executed 150 billion rand by the end of our financial year for 2024. We are also working to enable FirstRand to achieve their net zero ambitions, which include us being net zero in our financed emissions by 2050. So we've established our baseline, we've quantified our financed emissions, and we've categorized our balance sheet from brown to green, aligned with our strategic intent and our product development.
So we really are starting to make a difference.
Absolutely, Nigel. Now, since you are so much closer to the actual deals, can you tell us more about the role that we play in Africa's transition and how it plays out in true impact on the continent?
Sure. So if we look at the sustainable bond market within Africa, that's valued at around $34 billion as of January 2025. Within RMB, we've made a significant contribution in driving that forward, and we have about 34% of that market share. So what we've done is we've facilitated the ranging of around 51 listed and unlisted green, social and sustainable bonds across both FirstRand Group and our clients. But one of the key elements of what we do is we measure the impact of our transactions. So we're able to actually track the contribution we have towards society and sustainable development. Our clients across our sustainable finance instruments have committed to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions by 4.3 million tons of carbon dioxide. Now that equates to 100,000 buses driven for a year. Very similarly, what they've done is they've also committed to water conservation and water efficiency, which resulted in enough water for 230,000 people within South Africa for a year. We've also focused on improved internet connectivity in underserved areas, and this is key to socio-economic development on the continent.
It's truly inspiring to see African companies transition and benefiting from our sustainable finance offerings. Let's hear from some of our clients and how we have supported them by arranging sustainable finance instruments.
The Development Bank of Rwanda is a high-impact financial service provider in Rwanda that ensures Rwanda achieved or the country achieves its development initiatives. It was established in 1967, and our main mandate is to extend long-term, affordable, and also customize development finance solution to the private sector in Rwanda. We do that because we want to ensure that the private sector plays its role in the achievement of the 2050 vision of the country, the sustainability development goals globally that are set, and we want to continue to do that by supporting the private sector by extending loans that are affordable, long-term, and customized development finance. BRD issued 2 sustainability-linked bonds, both which leveraged our sustainability-linked bond framework, which we've prepared and also put in place with RMB. The framework was structured in a manner that considered the local context of Rwanda and ensured that there is still alignment with the international principles. Our selected KPIs focused on implementation of environmental, social safeguards within partner financial institutions that we work with, ensured that we are committing to increase the volume of loans to women-led businesses and the also increase of loans to affordable housing in Rwanda. All three KPIs are aligned with our 2024-2028 strategy and the achievement of the Sustainability Performance Target, or SPTs. A key feature of sustainability-linked bond SPTs is the link between the financial performance and also the sustainability performance of the bank. In our case, both issuances leveraged a bespoke pricing adjustment linked to a number of SPTs met with the achievement of two or more that we will achieve will trigger a pricing benefit to the bank. The two issuances of SLBs allowed BRD to strategically diversify its funding sources from the traditional lines of credit to a market-based way of raising private capital from the capital market. We've been able to raise Rwandan francs 63 billion in innovative finance for our growth agenda. Our first issuance allowed us to achieve few milestones. Most notably, this was the first sustainability-linked bond that was issued by a national development bank globally and in the region. Our first issuance allowed us to achieve different milestones. Notably, it was the first national development bank that issued an SLB globally, and it was also an inaugural bond in the bank, which was oversubscribed. Series 2, which we did last year, was also oversubscribed by 130%. That brought in also a different pool of investors comparatively to the Series 1. The two SLBs, notably the first one, attracted different recognition internationally. Number one was the bond deal of the year, which was the ESG bond deal of the year that was recognized by the Bonds, Lend Loans and Sustainability Capital Market Africa Awards. The other two awards were from the Environmental Finance that recognized the bond of being the Sub-Saharan Africa deal of the year for a sub-sovereign, and also being the financial institution's FI bond of the year.
Redefine Properties is a leading South African real estate investment trust that actively manages a diversified, directly held property asset platform comprising of South African and Polish retail, office, industrial, and logistics assets. Our ESG strategy is anchored in Redefine's purpose. It embraces the UN SDGs as an overarching framework, and it maps out what we want to achieve by 2030 and 2050 respectively. We have committed to achieving a net zero operational carbon emissions for our new builds by 2030 and for our existing buildings by 2050, aligning with ambitions of both World and South African Green Building Council for the sector. At present, 63% of our South African portfolio is green certified. This translates into 200 Green Star certifications. Notably, 25 of our buildings received the prestigious 5 Green Star rating, while 5 achieved net zero carbon level 2 building and occupant emissions certifications. And notably, I think our 6th net zero certification was awarded to Commerce Square as a preset. Redefine was one of the early adopters of sustainability in South African listed property sector, and it remains central to our business strategic direction. So in 2021, we partnered with RMB to structure and then issue our inaugural 1 billion rand sustainability linked bond, which we followed by a 2.7 billion rand syndicated sustainability linked note transaction. And to address the global climate changes crisis, our selected KPIs focused on increasing our reliance on renewable energy while reducing our greenhouse gas emissions and water consumption. So recognizing the benefits of sustainable finance solutions and our growing base of green certified buildings, we established, together with RMB, a market-leading sustainable finance framework in 2022. And our framework allows us the flexibility to issue green, social, and sustainable instruments, and is applicable both to our international and local operations. To date, we've leveraged our framework to execute multiple transactions. We've raised more than 15 billion rand in green bonds and notes, which includes one of the largest syndicated green note transactions in Africa. We have even leveraged our framework twice to raise green facilities in Poland for our EPP operations, which attracted international bank participation. A key point in our journey was the establishment of a framework which continues to allow us to access programmatically the sustainable finance market at scale on a standardized basis with ease of execution. In addition, we have been able to maximize our access to preferentially priced funding while diversifying our funding base. So the likes of the IFC participated in our green bond, which also afforded us the opportunity to issue longer tenure instruments. Redefine has been recognized as a 2025 ESG top-rated company by Sustainalytics, which is a testament to our leadership in ESG excellence in real estate. We are the only REIT in South Africa to achieve all 3 prestigious badges, and notably the only South African REIT to make the Global 50 top-rated ESG company list. This emphasizes our commitment to embedding ESG principles as a core operational imperative. To share with you, these 3 badges are: the first one, Global Top 50 Rated ESG Company. The second one is Regional Top Rated ESG Company in Middle East and in Africa. And then the last one, which is the third one, is Industry Top Rated ESG Company.
Wow, Emrie, that's really impressive.
Yes, Nigel. Our partnerships with clients such as the Development Bank of Rwanda and Redefine are a true testament of the difference we can make. Now, looking forward, how do you see the sustainable finance market evolving?
So first of all, if you look at the African sustainable finance market, it's in its infancy. If we started the market in 2019, and we've seen exponential growth. We've seen a compound annual growth rate of over 50% over those few years. Sustainable finance in the form of sustainable loans and bonds are going to continue to be the backbone of the market, especially as large corporates and certain of our clients transition. But within RMB, we very much like to focus on innovation, and we're starting to develop new products. We're focusing on products around transition finance, blended finance, carbon markets and finance, and natural capital solutions. So as Africa's just transition partner and working closely with our clients, what we're trying to do is move our clients into the next phase of the sustainable finance market.